The Building Blocks Voluntary and Community Sector Good Practice Toolkit is just that. It's a good practice toolkit that we use to provide intensive support to voluntary and community organisations in the Dudley Borough. It is aimed at medium to large organisations that would have an income of more than about £15,000 per year and that would have paid staff as part of the organisation. The toolkit looks at key areas of organisational development, from governance to business planning to human resources, policies and procedures, tendering for contracts, performance management, engagement and how they involve people in their organisation, and networking and also partnership working as well.
What this enables us to do is work far more systematically and robustly with an organisation, that they're looking at all elements of their business. And if you get your governance right, and if you get your business planning right, you get your financial plan right, then you're built on these firm foundations. You have less of the crisis situation. So deploying officers in the way we do under Building Blocks, which is an officer works over a long period with the organisation, working on every element of their business, it means that they feel more confident in running their own business.
Pulse Regeneration has developed a unique partnership with Dudley CVS to develop the VCS Good Practice Toolkit. The toolkit was developed over a period of about 6 months, working very closely in consultation with local voluntary organisations and local commissionaires to ensure that both the content and the style of the toolkit met their requirements. The toolkit has been incredibly successful. It's far surpassed all of our expectations. And we're now offering the toolkit to other infrastructure support organisations through Dudley CVS so that they can benefit from the toolkit in their areas as well. And that works in 2 ways. Firstly, we will work very closely on the ground with the infrastructure support organisation and run workshops with voluntary organisations and commissionaires to adapt and to tailor the toolkit to the local situation. So it's taken account of local requirements, for example, and local policies. And secondly, through Dudley CVS, by providing training and support, working with officers in the infrastructure organisation to ensure the toolkit is implemented effectively on the ground and it gets local buy-in. The toolkit, we think, has many benefits to offer. It's very beneficial to the voluntary and community sector organisations themselves. It enables them to become fit for purpose, develop sustainability and ultimately work towards being able to better tender for public sector contracts. And for the infrastructure support organisations that want to perhaps use this toolkit in their area as well, then it's great for them too. It makes them do work perhaps in a better way. It means that they are not being reactive and firefighting in terms of support that they provide, but being much more proactive and planned in their approach. And ultimately, by bringing together local organisations and local commissionaires, basically it's developing the sector for the better and improving services for the local community.
Historically, what's happened is an organisation will come to us and they'll ask for all manner of things. Can you set us up as an organisation? Can you help us apply for charitable status? And we respond to those things. We've tended to do that through what we call specialists. So we have a community accountant and we have a qualified lawyer who have supported that work. But it's been done a little bit in isolation, I think. You come and ask to be set up as a company, and that's what we'll do. We think that what's needed now moving forward is an approach that says, great, yep, we can absolutely do that. Now, have you also thought about these other things? How are you going to market your services? Do you understand tendering? Do you understand the environment in which we're working? Do you want help in any aspect of how you run your organisation? And I think the toolkit allows us to now do that. So each member of staff, whichever route into WVSC an organisation takes, they'll get the same basic approach. We've run 1 workshop up to now with commissioners and with third sector organisations, and we've started from the basis of the Dudley model, and we're now in the process of Wolverhamptonising that. So there'll be a number of sessions moving forward from now where we'll end up with a Wolverhampton toolkit for the third sector.
Building Blocks enables organisations to work much more collaboratively and proactively with us. It helps equip voluntary organisations with the skills, the structures and the processes that they need to enable them to successfully come forward and provide local services.
Our officers have been directly involved in helping to develop the toolkit and make sure that it covers everything that we think is important. Things like business planning, HR, marketing, all the key elements of providing a quality service. This is a quality product. It's absolutely excellent, and all the feedback that we're getting from VCOs is that they're finding it very, very useful indeed to help them to grow into the kind of organisations that local authority needs to do business with.
If we achieve the toolkit, we are more than halfway to achieving our CASA, which is even better. As a small organisation, we haven't got enough staff. We only got 3 members of staff, but we got 500 women in our database, our service users. So we always struggle with the time, and that is big help for us to actually someone come and visit us and deliver all this in our centre. So I personally think it's a brilliant idea to have this toolkit around for organisation like us.
We decided to go through the Building Blocks programme because it seemed like a really useful way of getting ourselves fit for purpose, ready for the changes that are coming with the tendering process. If people use it as an infrastructure organisation, they will really be able to show that they're offering that practical, real support to the groups and organisations in the voluntary sector in their area. So it strengthens the whole of the voluntary sector really in an area.
I probably, just to repeat where I came in, I mean, as an old cynic, you know, I tend to approach these things with a certain amount of caution and reservation, and why do I need to do this? Having done it, I'm glad that I did. It was a very enjoyable process, and almost embarrassed to say I did learn quite a bit from doing it.